It's a beautiful day. It's 14 degrees, but it's super windy, so I hope the sound is going to be okay. Hi everyone! Today I want to show you the dahlias I'm going to be planting in my garden this year, and also talk a little bit about my favorites from last year. Let's get started! Last year I really wanted to have more pom-pom dahlias in the garden, so I got a bunch this year, starting with this Rocco dahlia. It has a really beautiful deep pink color. It grows 1 meter tall. So that's going to be one for the back of the borders. I'm really excited to see how this one blooms. Another pom-pom dahlia I'm adding this year is from the National Dahlia Society collection, and it's called Wizard of Oz. It's beautiful pink, has beautiful curved petals, and I think this is going to be a showstopper. It grows 80 centimeters long, so more for the middle of the border. Okay, I may have gone a little bit overboard, but I got another pom-pom mix from Wilko actually, which is a grocery store in the UK. And this is a mix of pom-poms. I don't have exact variety names, but in the shades from pink all the way to darker maroon. And I think all of this goes really well together, and I'm going to have a gorgeous pom-pom show. From the same place, I also got this mini collection that goes really well together. I really love how the color of the purple A's is drawn into the polka with just that little line to define the petals. I think it's going to be really beautiful. It's a decorative dahlia, and it's going to grow 90 centimeters tall. Another dahlia type I'm really excited about is this anemone types. I have this one called Blue Bayou. It grows about 1 meter tall, and this is a type that's really loved by the bees because that center has pollen that is really accessible. So this dahlia is really bee friendly. I have another anemone type called Totally Tangerine. I think the colors are going to complement really well, and the tuber looks huge here, so I'm expecting a lot of beautiful flowers. I really enjoy darker foliage on dahlias. I think it provides such a great contrast in the border, and it's something different to look at. So I picked up a few like that. The first one is Bishop of Dover, this gorgeous single flowered, I would say white and purple dahlia. It's mostly white but with very delicate stripes of purple, so it will complement really well the color scheme I'm going for. One that I thought would go really well with Bishop of Dover is Pretty Woman. I think this one is absolutely striking, and it's only going to grow 30 centimeters tall, so it's going to be perfect for some of my pots. Another small one here is Star Wars. I hope this will go well with the rest of the dahlias that I picked, but it's a bit of a warmer color scheme, and I really like kind of like the bicolor shades of the petals in very light red and yellow. We'll see how that goes. This one is going to be again perfect for pots. I'm really excited to try again Black Touch. I couldn't resist this pack because the tubers were absolutely massive. So I tried to grow it last year in the garden, but I bought it from a supermarket where it was in a closed box, so it just said Black Touch and then 3 tubers, I think it was. And you couldn't see them because they were not in transparent packaging, so I got those, and then when it was time to plant them, they were rotten. This is why now I really want to be able to inspect every single tuber that I buy. They're a huge dinner plate dahlia, and what I really liked about those is the color, of course, but also the shape of the petals is a bit different, so I think that's going to be a lovely addition. Still in the decorative range, I have Little Robert. I thought this one was really cute. I really like the pink tones. It grows 80 centimeters long. Another beauty from Wilko called Crazy Love. I thought this was absolutely beautiful. The white with the light rim of purple. You can tell I have a theme, but those are the blooms that I enjoyed the most last year, so I thought, let's go all out this year. Last but not least, I have 2 tubers of Crème de Cassis. Need I say more? It's just a gorgeous graduation of colors from light all the way to a deeper purple pink. So excited about this one. Come to mama. Yeah. Oh, he's so cute. They always come when we're doing things in the garden. And that's it. Those are all the new varieties that I have this year. And now I'd like to talk a little bit more about the dahlias that I enjoyed from last year. The dahlias I grew last year are currently in storage in my garage. I had to lift them from the border to make room for tulips. So I'll link a video about that if you're interested about that process. So I hope I can locate the right tubers next year. I really want to plant again Shiloh Noel, absolute gorgeous dahlia. It was dinner plates, really large blooms, similar to Café au Lait, but I really preferred its pinkish hues. I think it was my favorite dahlia I grew last year in my garden. My top two would be Arabian Night, a gorgeous decorative dahlia with smaller blooms of a deep maroon color. It was absolutely striking. It was also the first to bloom from about mid-July. I really enjoyed the bloom show and it took very well to be grown in a slightly smaller pot. Another one that I really adored was called My Love. It was perfect for smaller pots because it grew about 30 centimeters tall. Those were my favorite ones, but the most floriferous that produced throughout the entire season and were still producing when I had to cut down the plants to make room for the tulips were three cactus types. The first one was Purple Gem, and in its first year of being planted, it produced so many gorgeous flowers. I promise I haven't changed the saturation of the picture. This is really how neon pink they were in real life, and they were such a pop of color. I really enjoyed those. The other two were Bora Bora and Eily Jane. They were actually very similar looking with some yellow and pink tips. They were really gorgeous, and again, they produced really well. Those two tubers actually were overwintered in the bed. It means that I didn't dig them up over winter. I just left them there, mulched really high, and they were fine. And so I think because of that, they had the opportunity to grow and to be really well settled in, and they really produced massively also this year. I don't know if dahlia cactus type are more vigorous, but at least for me in my garden, those were the three most floriferous varieties. So I typically get my tubers either at the garden center or at the grocery store, anywhere that has dahlias. And now that we're in early Feb, there's a lot more opportunities to be tempted, but this is what I have so far. So I typically don't order them online because I really like checking the quality of the tubers. So I really like when they come in this kind of plastic packaging because you can already assess whether there's any rot, if the tubers are broken off, and also you can pick one that's of a large size, which will probably mean you'll get bigger flowers. I grow most of my dahlias either in the border that gets a lot of sun or in containers. If like me, you grow in containers, this is typically better for smaller varieties, from 30 I would say all the way to 70 centimeters, to keep proportions with the container. Thanks for watching. I hope it inspired you to prepare your summer garden, to start planning. There's still a lot of time for you to get your tubers and a lot more time for me to get tempted to get more. And at the end of March, I'll start potting them on to get a head start on the season. I already published a video about that, so I'll link it below if you're interested. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! He's so cute. Always come when we're doing things in the garden. Hi, so of course if your sister comes, you want to come too. Oh, you're so beautiful.